We have all been there. You lie down, you scroll a little, you watch just one more video, and suddenly it's 3 a.m. Then you wake up, your brain is in a total fog, and you promise yourself, tonight, I'm sleeping early. But what if the answer isn't actually more sleep, but smarter sleep? What if the real key to feeling amazing is spending less time in bed? Okay, let's get into it.
It's the worst, right? You do everything you're supposed to. You hit that magical 8-hour mark, but you still feel like you've been run over by a truck. If that sounds a little too familiar, then you are in exactly the right place. Because the problem isn't you, it's how you've been taught to think about sleep.
And this, right here, is the big idea we're going to unpack. We're shifting our focus from just the sheer number of hours we spend with our eyes closed to the quality and the efficiency of the rest we're actually getting. And trust me, it's a total game changer.
So to get more efficient, we first have to understand what's going on under the hood. Let's dive into the basic science of what your brain is doing after you turn out the lights. It really all boils down to one magic number. 90. 90 minutes. That's roughly how long one full sleep cycle takes. You see, you need to stop thinking about your sleep as one long, solid block of time. Instead, think of it as a series of these 90-minute sprints. And mastering your rest, it's all about mastering these cycles. So what happens in one of these cycles? Well, your brain isn't just off, it's incredibly busy, moving through 5 different stages, from just drifting off down into a really deep sleep, and then into something called REM. Now, 2 of those stages are the absolute superstars of recovery.
Okay, if you remember nothing else from this whole explainer, remember this part. The 2 phases that matter most for feeling incredible are deep sleep and REM sleep. And here's the key. They do completely different jobs, and you absolutely need both to feel 100%. This breaks it down perfectly. Just think of it like this. Deep sleep is for your body. That's when your muscles get repaired, your immune system gets a tune-up. It's all about physical energy. On the flip side, REM sleep is for your brain. That's where you lock in memories, boost your focus, and recharge your creativity. And you can't trade one for the other. You ever wake up feeling physically fine, but your brain is just mush? Yeah, that probably means you got shortchanged on your REM sleep. And this is why 8 hours can sometimes feel like 4. All that stuff, late-night caffeine, stressing about work, the blue light from your phone, it shatters your sleep into little pieces. It keeps pulling you out of those really deep, restorative stages. So you might be asleep for hours, but your body and your brain never actually get the deep dive recovery they're crying out for.
All right, now we get this science. So how do we actually, use it? Let's get into the practical, actionable playbook, the stuff you can start doing tonight.
Okay, the logic here is so simple, it's brilliant. Stop picking a random wake-up time. Instead, plan your sleep in multiples of 90 minutes. See, if you wake up at the end of a sleep cycle, you feel alert and refreshed. But waking up in the middle of one, especially from deep sleep, is what causes that horrible, groggy feeling. So aim for 6 hours or 7.5 hours, not 7 or 8. Your brain just loves a routine. It craves it. When you go to bed and wake up at the same time every single day, and even on weekends, you strengthen your internal body clock. You're basically training your brain to know exactly when it's time to power down, which makes your deep sleep way more predictable and way more powerful. This is such a simple but powerful habit to build. Your last couple of hours before bed need to be a dedicated power down sequence. And the 3-2-1 rule makes it super easy to remember. 3 hours before bed, no big meals that your body has to work to digest. 2 hours before, no work, no stressful conversations. And the big one, 1 hour before bed, absolutely no screens. No phones, no TV, nothing that tricks your brain into thinking it's still daytime. How you wake up is just as important as how you go to sleep. So don't hit snooze, don't grab your phone and start scrolling. Instead, get about 10 minutes of direct sunlight in your eyes. This tells your brain to stop producing sleep hormones. Then splash your face with some cold water or do a quick burst of exercise, like 20 push-ups. This jacks up your alertness and just wipes out that morning grogginess almost instantly.
All right, so once you've nailed those fundamentals, there are a few extra levers you can pull to take your sleep from just good to absolutely incredible.
Let's talk about caffeine for a second. You might think that 4 p.m. coffee doesn't really affect you because, hey, you can still fall asleep just fine. But this is the hidden cost. Caffeine has a really long half-life, and it can slash your deep sleep quality by up to 30%, even hours later. So a hard cutoff time, say 2 p.m., is pretty much non-negotiable if you want truly optimized rest.
Oh man, this is probably the #1 sleep killer for so many of us. You're physically exhausted, but your brain is just running a marathon. It's filled with worries and ideas and that endless to-do list. So how in the world do you shut it down?
The solution is actually surprisingly low-tech. Grab a notebook and just dump everything. Get it all out of your head and onto the page. The physical act of writing things down basically tells your brain, hey, these thoughts are captured, we can deal with them tomorrow. It literally helps shift your brain waves out of that awake, problem-solving state and into a ready-for-rest state.
You know, when it comes down to it, all of these tactics only work if you make a fundamental shift in how you see sleep. It's not a chore. It's not a waste of time. It is a performance-enhancing tool. It's your superpower.
And this is the new gold standard for success. That old hustle culture of bragging about only getting 4 hours of sleep, that's over. The real competitive advantage goes to the person who has mastered efficient recovery and can show up every single day with a mind and body that are fully charged and ready to go. So the final thought I want to leave you with is this. Stop trying to find more hours in the day. It's a losing battle. Instead, focus on maximizing the energy you bring to the hours you already have. Because with true, efficient rest, that energy can become your ultimate superpower. So what are you going to do with it?